Alright, we're recording.
Okay. Alright, well, hello folks, this is BelGeode, and I am here in the Cloud 9 Lounge. I believe that's what it's called, Cloud 9 Lounge.
I think it is.
And I am here with fellow YouTuber, Lord Baldur.
How's it going, guys?
Behind the camera is FlightSimGuy. We're actually utilizing his camera right now. And so I got Karl. Karl is also with us.
Hey, Karl.
Oh, with MSFlights.net.
There you go, MSFlights.net. Gotta get that plug in. Gotta get that plug in. So what are we doing here? Basically just talking. It's Sunday, we're at FlightSimCon. This is the last day of the con. It's starting to wind down. There's been a lot less people here today than there were yesterday, so we just wanted to do like an impromptu let's talk. Let's talk about the experience that we've had this weekend. And I'm actually going to pass it over to Lord Baldur to start ball rolling.
All right. Yeah, I'll be honest, one of the things that I really liked about this is just how massive it's been compared to last year.
Yeah, it's actually bigger.
Oh yeah, I mean, one of the things is that with last year's FlightSimCon, I noticed that everything was Saturday, not nearly as many people, and then when Sunday rolled around, everybody was just packing up before I even got there. Yeah. I mean, today it's been actually kind of different, quite a bit different actually.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Although I think the record numbers that they had were from yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. What was it?
I heard 750.
750? Really?
750?
Yeah, that's the number I heard.
Holy crap!
It's just a number that was tossed out. 550 last year, 350 the year before, and 750.
750 this year. Wow, that's a lot of numbers in one place.
Yeah, I know, right?
But yeah, I had a few people show up that told me the only reason why they came was because of the video that they saw that I did last year, which of course is extremely flattering. But, you know, just the fact that all of these new people are coming in, people that otherwise had no clue that something like this even existed. It's just awesome. One of the guys that showed up was Scott, one of my ex-VA people when I used to run US Airways Virtual. Scott and I have been having a great old time because I've never met him in person and I've known him for like 10 years. That's basically what it's been about. Have you found that, you know, you've run into people who recognize you and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, every so often. Granted, it was more of a thing last year, but walking around, there were quite a few people who were saying, "Oh, hey, do I know you? You sound very familiar." Granted, I never put my face on camera. There are very few pictures of me on the internet, so.
Well, you're on camera now. So.
Yeah, camera.
Well, that's changing. Still not getting a face cam, but hey, this is me.
And Mr. Gordon, how has your experience been so far?
This time around, FlightSimCon has been absolutely phenomenal. I come for one reason, and that is for content for my YouTube page. And let me tell you, if you're a YouTuber and you want to grow your audience, you gotta come. And I got like 120 new subscribers in 2 days.
Wow.
It took me almost a year to do that, my first year. So I really got a lot of new subscribers, which means I'm going to have to up my game, which means a lot of the exhibits that I saw, saw a lot of cool stuff. The virtual reality at Explain, my
That's
God.
a game changer.
That's a game changer.
A game changer, yes.
And I stopped by some of the other booths, spoke with the developers from Quality Wings, ran into a couple of real-world airline pilots, got their perspective. And
no, wait, hold on a second. I'm going to stop you for a second because you just touched on real-life airline pilots. I'm really curious. What do they think about all of this?
Well, I didn't ask them about that, but they're here walking around, so, you know, obviously, you know, there's an impression to be made. And obviously I'm asking them, you know, well, how does the real plane compare to this and blah, blah, blah.
Right, yeah. What about that 717? Is it like
Think
that?
about us wannabes. That's what we want.
Exactly. So let me tell you, it's been absolutely phenomenal. Now, yesterday I was in the grand ballroom with the main presentations, and I'm there standing there with my cell phone live streaming, holding a wet washcloth so it doesn't melt. And
he's not kidding.
I'm standing there for like an hour sweating and my body's cramping up and everything, but it was worth it. I've been getting a lot of hits, a lot of views, and a lot of appreciation from other folks who couldn't be here.
Yeah, and further to that, he was also the only game in town. Air Daily X, of course, is here, and they've got their big, huge professional setup. They started their broadcast, and the audio crapped out totally. So the timing again couldn't be better. Andrew's got his stuff there, and next thing you know, hey, the only guy on town is FlightSimGuy. And then somebody decided to rebroadcast the live stream on Twitch. So there's like an extra 444 people watching, which I think was just phenomenal. Granted, he was stealing your content, but still,
it's fun. Let me tell you, if you're broadcasting or if you're a YouTuber, you know you gotta come. So yeah, it's definitely worth the effort.
And how's it been for you so far, Karl?
I've had a good time. I've met a lot of people. My thought was get a look at, get my hands on some of the pricier type of hardware for FlightSim that I really don't feel comfortable buying without being able to touch it.
Right. Jetline systems. We're looking at you.
Exactly. Yep.
The prices were ridiculous.
I could have one for Christmas.
Ooh,
Forgot to ask how much.
Oh boy.
The prices for a lot of those custom hardware, I'm like, oh, come on, dude. This one, I want to say Just Flight, the yoke. I don't remember which booth it was, but it was an all metal, replicated at the Boeing, the yoke.
The Go Flight, yeah.
Exactly, the Go Flight.
Yeah, I will say,
how much was it? $700. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I have to give a lot of credit to the people who are, enthusiast builders, especially if they make their own cockpit, because that's dedication. That's a lot of money.
Oh yeah,
and time.
Eastern Hops guys, what they've done upstairs with their setup, and even the half a Cessna that's sitting outside of the bar right now, that takes some real-time money, effort, dedication, sweat, blood, everything. And they still managed to pull all of that off, and it looks phenomenal.
I asked a guy who does all the systems programming for it. He said he did it himself, and he's not a programmer. He had to learn C++.
So he had to learn how to do the code.
And a lot of the components, he had to, he designed it himself in a CAD software. Then he goes to the local trade school, and they engineered it for him.
Wow. And I did run into a gentleman upstairs probably about an hour or so ago that is debuting a flight stick. He 3D printed his prototype so that he could show us. Very simple, very elegant, got a USB connection, and interchangeable heads. If you're going to fly a helicopter, you want to fly something that's got like a cyclic looking head on there. He's got it. You want to fly a fighter jet, same story. He's got the head for that too. You want to do a Piper Cub, just a stick and rotor flying. He's got it.
Where's he at?
He's just walking around. He doesn't even have a booth. He's just here showing this thing off like, yeah, I made this. And I'm like, that's got to be the single most incredible thing that I've seen so far.
Right.
And what about FlightSimCon coming out with their own new simulator?
I think that FlightSimCon is on the right path, but they're going to need a lot of work. I think, honestly, they announced it a little bit too early. They've got something to show, and I'm not going to lie, in VR, it looks really great.
Yep.
But there's obvious, limitations that they've hit so far because they're writing their own code. They've only been developing it for 4 months. All these big houses, how long did it take for like Dovetail and all of them to come out with Flight Sim World? 2 years. And of course, how long has Lockheed Martin had
8 years. And this is all built-in stuff that's been developed over a period of 30 years.
And they also have the budget. I mean, Dovetail, especially Lockheed, they have dedicated programmers.
Right, and that's a key thing as well. You have to have the infrastructure. Client side is basically him and his wife, and I'm not even sure if his wife does any of the programming.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
You got to give props to the spouses that put up with us and all of our shenanigans.
But yeah, I have to say I did enjoy the experience for the most part. There was a little bit of stuttering here and there, but overall it was a pretty decent experience. I actually ended up doing an interview with them, so that's one of the things that will be going up on the channel. But yeah, I mean, aside from that, there's still a lot of stuff that I want to be able to take in before the day is out, and at this point I'm not even sure if I'm going to have time for it. I want to see Orbix, what they're doing with the Aerofly, what is it, Airfly 2, I guess?
Yeah.
So.
You guys run into any other YouTubers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've run into a couple here and there. We saw Cat Strader earlier,
Cat Strader, yeah.
And of course Jeff Fabiano's here as well. Nova Wing 24, obviously. I mean, we've spent like most time together. Obviously, Frugal's not here. Frugal couldn't be here. He had a prior engagement, but I think that the YouTube community has been pretty well represented here, and the Twitch community as well. You got to remember them guys.
Yeah, I mean that entire Twitch booth that they've had set up. Forget about that.
That's right.
But yeah, I've seen a ton of YouTubers here over the course of these 2 days.
So, what have you guys seen at the conference in the last 24 hours that's changed maybe what you might purchase in the next year?
Well, among other things, the TFDI 717. Like I said earlier, I used to run a VA. I haven't done that sort of stuff for a while, and honestly, I was burnt out on the whole tube liner thing. That's why I've been doing a lot of helicopters, military, and so on and so forth. But there was just something about that. Maybe it's the fact that it's shared cockpit, since FlightSimGuy and I often will do videos involving shared cockpit. The work that they've put into that, I think it's ready for prime time, and I would love to get back into that aspect of it, so that's one thing I'm really looking forward to. The fact that there's VR literally all over the place is telling me, okay, it's time to invest in it. It's time to up my game with that. Those are the two major things, and then of course the joystick guy.
The joystick, yeah, I'll have to look into that.
I'm thinking the Eastern Hub, that flying club?
Eastern Hops, yeah.
The Eastern Hops.
Great bunch of guys. They've been keeping us in alcohol all weekend long. And I even got a shirt out of it.
But it also makes the best damn Karl ever.
Yes. Yes, his Karl was godly.
A lot of people are often asking, well, where can I find someone to fly with, that kind of stuff? Well, they have fly-ins and they have group events all the time, so definitely going to sign up with them. I think it's time for me to hop in the chase plane. Go ahead and pull the trigger on that. And the 717, I already bought the MD-80 Fly the Mad Dog, the old one. And
well, if I buy it, you gotta buy it.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody else I'm doing shared cockpit.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
So at VR, that's a lot of money right there, man.
It's coming down in price. I was talking with John from Orbix, and he said that if you look around, you can probably get it for about $399.
I'm not talking.
The price was $7.
I'm not talking the VR headset. I'm talking the computer to run it, because you have to have a decent rig.
I'm already ready.
So yeah, but does your what do you have? The AMD RX 580 or 480?
Yeah, I'm running the AMD Radeon RX 480, and yes, it is VR capable. It's got 8 gigs of RAM on it. You can handle it. You can handle it.
Yeah, so, man.
What are you looking forward to, or what are you interested in?
Oh yeah, so I have to say the 717, already bought that.
Do you already have that?
Well, I bought it at the convention, so there is that.
Oh, okay.
You bought it?
Yeah, they have it on sale, and there's a discount, $47.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't know that.
Huh.
Yeah. So I thought everyone knew. That's what they were saying.
Well, wait a second here. Where is that advertised? Or is it on their website?
It's probably on their website, I would imagine.
So is it a weekend special, or is there a code that they give you upstairs?
Yeah, I was talking to them, and that's where I learned about it. So
that makes sense. Okay.
But yeah, I did get that. Another one, and you have to forgive me, I'm very terrible with the names of these products, but there's this one showcase where it showed, I forgot what the program was, but it essentially sets up your flight simulator. It gives you a map.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about, but unfortunately the name escapes me as well. Frugal might probably know it because he swears by it.
Yeah. When I get home, I'm definitely getting that one.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
SimStarter.
Yeah. That thing is just crazy. I played around with it. It allows you to set up basically anything. It gives you a map, it gives you flight statistics, it gives you anything you ever want. It's really intricate, and it's also easy to use. I mean,
it's not very expensive either.
Yeah, I mean, when you have when you have complicated software like that, there's always this learning curve. But with this one, it really isn't.
That's interesting to know. I might have to look into something like that as well. But honestly, for what I do, a lot of the times when I'm flying, I'm also recording video. So the whole preparatory work that is not necessarily something that I get into. The most preparation that I'll do is I'll do a checklist. But I'm going to do that on video. But it's something to look into as well.
Yeah, I always find it's always good to have a takeaway of at least maybe 2 to 5 items.
Yeah.
What are you going to do differently in the future based on what you've learned at the conference? Otherwise, why pay all the money coming here for nothing? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
Can that work?
that too. That too. That
That's a
too.
big one.
After hours networking.
Yep.
And we did establish
Seen a few after
you
effects
need
of that.
business cards.
There you
That
go.
was my mistake, but it didn't even
But that's okay because last year he bitched at me for it.
Yep. I've been giving out my business cards. I'm not obviously the celebrity that you are because of that damn hat.
Oh please.
You know, it makes you stick out like a sore thumb, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. But then, you know, all my life I've been used to sticking out like a sore thumb. I mean, I'm still into heavy metal for God's sake. You know, how many darker skinned folks can actually even say that?
You can say it. How many black folks into heavy metal?
That's racist.
That's racist. Get off my video.
You said black person.
Yeah, take it from the white guy. He calls it racist, so it must be.
I am on the East Coast.
Need another beer, sir?
Well, that's entirely up to you, sir.
Since you're all tapped out.
Okay, then yeah.
Another Blue Moon?
Yes.
Do it.
Oh man, so we've got like a year before we come back. Is everyone planning on coming back?
Yes,
Oh,
definitely.
yeah.
I'm coming back again. I'm going to be doing this every year.
I kind of thought I would come by once and that would do it for a while, but I've had a good time, and you know, if time and everything allows, yeah, I'd love to come back and just hang out.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to doing this again next year. I had heard some rumors that the venue might again be changing because from my understanding with all the people that we had in here yesterday, it was actually too many
Really?
people. Yeah,
I
we
didn't
literally
think
took
so.
over the entire hotel. Every single room in the entire hotel was booked for FlightSimCon. And all the neighboring hotels.
Really?
Yeah.
That I didn't know.
Yeah.
Remember when you canceled your room?
Yeah.
Well, a few hours after, I ran into a guy who said that he had the book in one of the hotels down the street because, of course, everything was sold out. I'm like, I wish I would have run into you a couple of hours earlier because my buddy just canceled his room so that he could room with me.
Make one more seat available. Wow, I didn't realize that we maxed out the hotel. Because it's perfect here. You fly in, you don't need to rent a car. It's right there.
It's been extremely convenient. I mean, everything that you need, with the exception of any, major vices you might be into or whatever, it's all here. It's all here.
He's talking about cigarettes, not hookers. So.
Well, maybe they'll get the Vegas Convention Center.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'll be back next year, definitely.
The only thing I haven't decided yet for next year is whether or not I'm bringing the full purple suit with it.
Well, it worked for you. It worked for you yesterday, didn't it?
Okay, I'm convinced. I'll bring the purple suit. Yeah, but seriously though, I'm really looking forward to what's going to happen over the next year. I enjoyed what Dovetail had to say. I enjoyed what Laminar had to say. I'm still not quite certain what Lockheed Martin was even doing here, but that's just my opinion on that.
Well, I can give you my predictions. The flight since Dovetail recompiled FSX for Steam, that reignited the hobby. And it's been growing ever since. Now there's too much simulators and not enough simmers. There's going to be what we call a shakeout in the market. And in the future, it's going to be X-Plane, it's going to be P3D, it's going to be Lockheed, X-Plane. Steam is going to stick around as long as there's a third-party developer market.
Yeah.
They're gonna stick around forever. These other new sims, Dovetail, I'm not sure how long they're gonna keep investing in
I would disagree. I would respectfully disagree because I'm starting to really get on the Dovetail bandwagon after talking to them, in particular talking to Stephen Hood. I see the vision that he has in mind, and he's actually taking a common sense approach. Now, again, the key thing that I reiterated to him yesterday is there's got to be that communication. I proposed to him that, you know, maybe once a month or something like that, or someone in the organization just do some little blurb, maybe 2 or 3 paragraphs long, or, you know, like a 2-minute video saying, hey, this is us, this is what we're doing right now, you know, this is a loose game plan. They don't have to give any concrete dates or anything like that. Just tell us what's going on.
Yeah.
You know? And he did say that he had that thought as well, so we're on the same page. I think they can do something with it. They just need to make sure that they make sure that we know that they're doing something with it.
Otherwise,
and they've got to, I think they've got to communicate, because the image is that Dovetail really doesn't have a passion for our community. They're just in it for the money.
The DLCs.
We're afraid that we're going to put our money in and it's just going to be deadware. It'll be, you know, just a game of where we have to just shell out money for
content
and not really get a lot of value out of it, like you see out of the little games on the mobile phone platforms. I don't think that's the case. They've got a lot more invested time-wise and energy-wise, but they've got to communicate that. From what they said on the stage the other day, they read the forums. They know what's being said. So
they do.
They're
not very kind on the forums. I mean, those people are jerks out there.
The other thing I've seen, I've talked to a bunch of people that are in the development side of things. Some of them are the CEOs, owners of the companies, other programmers, graphic designers, and so forth. And these are guys just like you and me that work for a living. There's nobody showing up in Cadillac Escalades, limousines, or anything like that. And you know, they put a lot of time and effort in. It's a passion for them, and you know, there's nobody trying to do the get rich quick scheme.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, except maybe Lockheed, but they're already rich.
Lockheed.
They're already rich. They don't count.
It's just a bit of side money, but the way that I see it,
side money.
Not even that.
Yeah.
The money they get out of my pocket when I give them $60 every couple of years for their next upgraded pocket. I mean, it doesn't even pay for their secretary's.
Right.
I don't know, what does the secretary get?
I guess.
Doesn't pay much. You know.
I will say this though, I do think that Dovetail is doing a pretty big gamble, because what they're doing with Steam. Remember, Bethesda tried to do the same thing with Skyrim, paid mods, and there was a huge controversy over that.
I remember that.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I'm pretty sure they know of that. They understand that people
They're
are
in the
concerned
industry,
about that.
they played Skyrim, they know.
Yes, and the controversy there wasn't necessarily paid mods, but the fact that it had to go through Steam, which takes a bit of our money, then Dovetail's taking a bit of our money too.
Right.
What does that leave developers?
Right. Exactly.
But I did have a talk with them. They say that that route is 100% optional. If you want to, you know, put it on Steam, you can put it on Steam, and if you don't, well, that's up to you. They admitted that they don't like it, but they're not going to stop you from doing so.
Right. And honestly, that's really all they can do when it comes to stuff like that. At least as far as freeware, they did confirm they don't want control over the freeware at all. Right. If somebody does something on their own time that meshes with Dovetail Games, Flight Sim World, that's their property. They don't want to control that, and I think that is the right attitude to have. That's going to spur people on to, you know, do stuff for free.
That was an awkward question.
It was a very awkward, but they handled it well.
Actually, it was a very valid question.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, the software developers, not the third-party developers, the sim developers, I mean, you know, they're not doing it for free. It's a business.
Yeah.
You know?
They all need pay.
Awkward is it was pointed at one group in particular.
Yeah, it definitely was.
I wanted to ask you, as a group, something. Why are you doing this?
I love flying.
But that's it? You love flying?
Yeah, and it's awesome.
Okay, well, that works for me.
No, that's how my take on that particular question was. You know, we're going to ask the panel a question. Hey, Dovetail, why are you messing up?
Yeah, well, it's such a...
No, I'm good, thank you.
But it seems like such a no shit answer when, you know, you boil it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another Michelob Ultra for you?
I'm good. Can you bring me the check?
He's videoing this afternoon. He can't be drinking.
You should hear me when I'm sipping after I've had my Hennessy and my beer.
Yeah, I have heard you when you've been sipping after.
I fly better when I'm drinking. I won't lie to you. I fly a lot better
I'm in
when
the
I'm
same
drinking.
boat. The only thing I cannot fly better after drinking is helicopters. 'Cause that's a hands-on aircraft. There is no autopilot to save your ass.
Hey, flight simming and alcohol, it's a winning combination.
There you go.
This is true.
So the two things that I was pleased to hear is in the last 3 to 6 months, particularly in the last 3 months, I've been seeing a lot of positive comments about X-Plane 11, which I've avoided X-Plane for years for a number of reasons.
Honestly, I thought X-Plane 10 sucked.
I got the free demo. For those of that don't know, there's a free demo of X-Plane 11. I bought it, or excuse me, I downloaded it and tried it out, and I was so impressed with how the default Cessna felt to fly around just doing a pattern that I actually went out and bought this beta version. I bought it a few days later.
Another beta sucker.
Yeah, I don't buy beta products. So, and now it's a final release, and I like it a lot. I still use both sims, both the P3D and X-Plane. But a lot of people are in the comment section of YouTube, your guys' channels, Flight Sim and AvSim forums and other places. Every time there's an opportunity, they're speaking up and saying, "Hey, I like X-Plane, I like the X-Plane."
Yeah.
And the question I've been dropping on vendors since yesterday, when I see an opportunity, is, are you seeing that this is actually equating to an increase in market share? Is it putting money in your pocket? And the answer is yes. There were a couple of vendors that don't have a dog in the fight yet. A couple of vendors that said it's too early to tell, but not a single vendor said, "Oh, it's all just talk and it's too early, not putting money in my pocket." So I think that's a good sign.
Yeah.
And their product roadmap yesterday really impressed me. When I saw this is what I plan for the future, and they listed out a nice, product roadmap, and that tells me that they have their plan in order.
Right.
We know what we're gonna get, and they're working on this and that.
And the thing with Laminar too is whenever they put up a product roadmap, it's not just for show. It's not a dog and pony show.
Exactly.
They deliver.
They deliver.
They've already proven this. They deliver.
They can deliver. Yeah. And they've been doing it for 20 years. So I tell you, it's
gotta be doing something right at this point. And yeah, I've really gone home with X-Plane 11. I mean, anybody who's watching my channel knows when it comes to helicopters, it's X-Plane 11. Occasionally some DCS, but mostly X-Plane 11. I love the strides that they've made over just the few short months that it was in beta into the release candidate. It's stable, it's solid. I put Ortho for XP in there, and it looks gorgeous. I went flying this morning in a real-life Cessna, and I'm looking outside, and the first thing that I see when I see this haze down there in the morning, that looks like X-Plane. I'm in a real aircraft.
I'm sure God was impressed.
I'm sure he was.
I've been striving to make that look like X-Plane.
I know. Austin would be proud of me. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. As far as the whole realism and the work that they put into it, it's obviously dedicated. Now, personality-wise, they might not be the best. They sometimes come off as a little bit abrasive, or occasionally, I'm going to say it, arrogant.
They've earned it.
But they stand by their product,
and
they do what they say they're going to do.
Yeah, the thing is that they're very confident in it too.
Yeah, I cannot fault them for that at all.
Yeah.
What experiences have you had with X-Plane so far?
Well, X-Plane 10, I'll be really honest, I did not like it. I mean, when you're playing a flight simulator, what's going to happen is that you're going to be spending a lot of time, and the memory, even on the 64-bit version, just builds up. And it builds up to the point where it's going to crash your system. It doesn't matter what video card you have, how much RAM you have. Sooner or later, it's going to happen. And tried messing with the settings, didn't work. So didn't have much of a good experience with X-Plane 10, but X-Plane 11, that seemed to really alleviate
that raised the bar.
Yeah, and obviously there's better programming. The autogen certainly helps. I don't know if X-Plane 10 had that, do you know?
Yes, they did. However, it wasn't nearly as improved as it has been for 11. And I do believe we have...
Yes, gentlemen, pardon my interruption. Another round?
I think I'm good.
You got it.
Yeah, I'm good too.
Good guy, James.
All right.
We are, after all, in a bar.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're pushing 30 minutes and I'm running out of disk space.
30 minutes sounds good to me.
Want to summarize it?
Any final words? We'll start with you, Mr. FlightSimGuy.
All I can say is anybody watching, if you're curious and you can afford it, make it to FlightSimCon next year. It's definitely going to be worth the effort. It's a lot of fun. You get to meet a lot of great people, and not too many times you get all these nerds together at one time. So you know, it's
You're in good company. Yeah.
Exactly. So,
Carl?
Yeah, no, it's a good time. The part of the country is great. The time of year is a great time of year to be here. And I think next year we'll have some more great things to see and talk about, in addition to people to talk about with.
BelGeode?
Well, I'm going to switch to Lord Baldur first.
I guess what I have to say is always give flight simulators a shot. I mean, for me, I've always been into aviation, but the way that I've seen it, I always thought it was some isolated community. Not a lot of people really were really into it. But after this, I've seen that that's really not the case. It's growing, and it's not only growing exponentially, but in magnitudes as well. And that I like. I mean, well more than half of the people here, this is their first time.
Right.
So, now if you're into it, or even not, just give it a try.
Definitely, definitely. And I have a lot of tutorial videos on my channel.
You might as well plug it.
Might as well
Hey,
plug it.
right?
All right, Drew, you want to summarize?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've always had a good experience. Well, I say always, but I've only been here twice. I'm looking forward to next year, and yeah, exactly as FlightSimGuy said, if you really can, you know, do the logistics, get the resources, whatnot, come on out. It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for some folks, but it is definitely an opportunity that you want to take advantage of. And you get to see the purple hat.
There you go. And maybe get a selfie with it.
And maybe get a selfie with me, yes. And on that note, we're going to call it quits for now. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for my compatriots for chiming in. And we're going to sign off for now. So this is BelGeode in the Cloud9 Lounge here at FlightSimCon, and I will chat with you all really soon. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and ciao.